Hello, we are live.
Hi, everybody. So welcome to College of Lore and our first Kids on Bikes stream. So this is a little bit different than what we've done in the past for our streamed live games. We always had plans to move into like an online format and investigate things like Roll20 and ways to play at a distance. But our schedule got pushed forward a little bit because of COVID, and now we're doing it right away.
I'm Jill, and
Oh, and I'm Kate.
and we're joined by our friends.
This is our channel.
Do you want to introduce them? We've got Aleks over in the corner, way over there.
Aleks.
And we've got Kim.
Wave. Yeah.
And we've got Shawn.
Yes.
Hello.
Thank you so much for joining us today, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
Good. Yeah, so what we're doing today is we are going to play, well, we're going to start Kids on Bikes. So Kids on Bikes is a really interesting RPG. It's sort of Stranger Things themed. So it's sort of set a few decades in the past before cell phones and internet and all of that good stuff. When kids were just riding bikes around their neighborhoods. And yeah, it's an interesting system because compared to something more traditional like D&D, Kids on Bikes is much more what I would call collaborative. So as players, you're going to be making decisions about what your character is and who they are and what they do. But in addition, when creating characters, you're all going to be answering questions about each other. So you're going to kind of collaboratively create your characters together, and other people might have some influence on aspects of your character. But in addition, you guys, the players, are going to be building the world that we are playing in. So you're going to be making decisions about the town that you exist in. And while we're playing the game, this game is designed such that players often are required to take narrative control as well. So typically, a character in a game, a player would say, this is what I want to do. And then the GM would say, okay, this is what happens, maybe based on a die roll or something like that. But in this game, in many cases, you're going to do something and I'm going to say, okay, it succeeds. So tell me what happens. And you'll get to kind of make some decisions like that. Like, okay, the door opens for you. What's on the other side, right? So you'll get to be very creative like that. And not to put you on the spot or anything like that. If you can't think of it, then we can all work together to like decide what would be fun and what would be the most interesting story to tell. Okay, so yes, it's a very collaborative system. Before we get started, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start building this town together. But what I like to do before playing any game is talk about communication among us as players. So one of the things that I wanted to do before we start is talk about if there's any topics that we think that we should collectively avoid. I'll start with two things that I wrote down. So this game is going to be set probably in the 80s or 90s. So it's a few decades in the past. And I just want to come out there and say that I'm not personally comfortable with us including any kinds of prejudice in the world that we're building. So it is in the past, but let's sort of avoid anything like that. And I also think, given the current situation, that maybe it would be good to avoid like any discussions of illnesses. So like, let's not have a giant pandemic happening in our fun role-playing game because that's not a fun escape from the reality that we're currently in. Yeah. So does anybody else have any other sort of things that they think we should just all collectively try and steer clear of just because you're uncomfortable with it or you don't think it would be fun?
I liked what you guys did with your last kind of streams, just like keep it like a PG, like teenage rating, like nothing crazy or like really dark or anything,
Yep.
but like it can be scary, but not like inappropriate.
Sure.
I trust you guys' judgment, basically. There's nothing in particular that I want to steer clear of.
Okay.
Scary, but not super gory. Okay.
And of course, like, there's also the chance after to say something privately if you feel the need to. You can message Kate and just kind of stick that in there. But it would be good for us 5 to know to all steer away from it. So if you want to privately message us and not say it like out loud for the world to hear, that's fine too.
That is fine too. And then another thing, and this is actually something that is explicitly talked about in the Kids on Bikes rulebook. So I really have to give them a big kudos for including this. But what we will do is not only are we saying now some stuff that maybe we don't want to get into in the game, but if at any point in the game something is going in a direction that you're like not super hot about, you can say, they suggest these 3 sort of phrases. You can rewind. So if it's kind of going in a direction and you're like, wait, I don't like how this is going. Let's rewind a little bit. We'll go back to here and like, let's redirect it. So you can rewind if you want. You can pause if you just need a break. If you're like, okay with how it's going and are okay with continuing, but you just need a break for a second, we can pause at any time. Or you can fast forward. So that's if like something is happening and you're okay with it happening, but you don't necessarily want to role play through the whole thing, then we can just say, okay, that happened, we skip forward, and now it's the thing that happened, but we don't have to like do it.
I love that because it's very VHS.
Yeah, exactly. So true. Mm-hmm. Okay. And then they also suggest that before you start, we all kind of get on the same page with the kind of tone that we want for the game to have. So is this going to be very serious sort of game where we're in a dire situation with some kind of strange monster or mystery or whatever? Or is it going to be more silly? Or do you prefer something in between?
I was picturing kind of one of those 80s campy movies or like one of the weirder episodes of like X-Files or Buffy, you know, just kind of
an in-between.
Very in-between.
Yeah. In between, but maybe leaning on silly.
I mean, with me playing, that might end up being what happens.
Okay.
I'm actually eyeing the funny sidekick character for Pro.
Okay.
So that would kind of, even if we chose to go serious, that could add some levity, but it would certainly lend itself better, I think, to a either half and half or a sillier.
Okay. I'm cool with it.
Horror comedy is a common part of the Kids and Bikes genre. You got things like the Lost Boys and the Monster Squad, and so yeah.
Well, it adds some comic relief. Yeah, it adds some comic relief to maybe some heavier moments. So I like that. All right, so let's start building our world. The first thing that we need to do is decide on a time period. So like I said, the only real restrictions here are that it shouldn't be present day. I'd say anything before like mid-90s is fine. But what do you guys think? What kind of time frame would you like to set the game in?
I'm a personal fan of the early to mid 80s simply because the soundtrack is so awesome.
I'm cool with that. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really have a preference.
1983 is my personal favorite year of popular music. So
yeah. Okay. It's a good point. It's where the Cold War was at a really tense point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I don't know a single kid who was my age at that time who didn't have their nuclear war plan.
Yeah. So, yeah.
All right.
I could do early mid 80s.
So, did I hear 1983 specifically?
Yes.
I'm
Is
cool
everyone
with
else
that.
okay with that?
Sure.
All right. Sounds good. Okay. So what we're going to do now is there are 4 of you, and you're each going to get to answer, I believe, 2 questions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 2 questions each about the town. And that's going to start to flesh out flesh out the town. And then after we do that, everybody is going to get to share one rumor that they have heard about the town or having to do with the town or something that's going on. So do you guys want to maybe roll to see who goes first? You can all roll a d20.
I got a 12.
11.
17.
11.
Okay, so we've got Shawn with 17. Then what was next? There's two 11s.
I
What
got
did
a
you
12.
get, Jill? Okay, so Shawn, then Jill, and then Kim and Aleks, you can roll off.
Aleks can go first because alphabetical order.
Okay, that works. And then Kim. All right, so Shawn, you need to come up with the name of this town. So our adventure takes place in name of town and state or province if you want. And again, like it could be a real place, but I think it's better if it's a made-up place because we're going to be building the town.
Absolutely. How about yeah, I like that.
No pressure.
Yeah, I know. Connor's Cross.
What did you say?
Connor's Crossing.
Connor's Crossing?
Mm-hmm.
All right, we could write that on the Roll20 map if we wanted to.
Yeah.
Do you know how to do that, or do you want me to do it?
Oh, us?
Yeah.
I bet it's that paintbrush up there.
There's the paintbrush and then a text tool. And for everybody watching, this is sort of a test for us of Roll20. I've poked around in here a bit. I've never actually run anything on it. I know that Jill has used it a bit in the past. Jill, have you actually run stuff on
I
it?
even did last
Kate.
weekend. I use it a lot.
You've given a graphic designer a font list. This could be
Oh,
problematic.
no.
Ooh.
You have to find the perfect one, Kim.
Where's that? Oh, there. I see. It has to be on the. Okay.
All right, so while you're figuring that out, we will move on to the next question.
Yes.
Jill, I would like you to finish this sentence. The industry our location is best known for is...
Wax candles. Oh, wait, is that the example in the book? I take it back. Actually, I'm not sure. It just popped into my head, and now I'm like, did I steal that from the
Even
book?
if it is the example, it's a good one.
I think that's fine. I mean, you can change it if you want. Yeah, we're not... This isn't like... First
you can never go back to it. You said it.
It has been said.
Okay, thank you.
What about like scented wax, maybe perfumes and things like that?
Scented wax and perfumes?
Scented items. So like kind of like Bath and Body Works kind of stuff. Like you go in there, and this is not sponsored by the way. You go in and just all this different smelly items.
Scented,
Lush.
Yeah, like Lush, like a Lush.
So like scented. What's like the generic word for all of those things? There's a word for it.
Oh.
No. Like the things that are scented are like bath products.
Gross.
Well, yeah, so like the town just always has this like aroma.
Oh yeah, but it's different. Like depending on what the factory is like manufacturing that day. It's like this weird, like today's watermelon.
Oh.
Okay.
Something smells rotten in Connor's Crossing.
It's reminding me of like the Ben's Bakery. Do you guys ever walk?
I used to live near there.
When they're
that smell makes
bread?
me nauseous now.
Yeah. All right. So scented bath products is the main industry in Connor's Crossing. So Aleks.
Yes.
You need to finish this sentence. Our town is famous for...
My mind wants to jump to the industry, but that's not the question. It's famous for...
It could be. But yeah, the more different stuff we put in here, the more we have to draw on later, right?
There's a weird sculpture of a giant perfume bottle in the town. That's like a strange tourist attraction.
Giant perfume bottle monument.
Yes.
Okay. So people come here and they stop in to like take a picture beside the giant perfume bottle.
Yeah, as they're coming to get their candles and stuff.
Right.
And it could be one of those ones where it's a little thing and it's got the little ooh, and then a bulb. And
Like
so
the
people
old-fashioned
sit
one.
on the bulb and
Did you say spit on?
sit.
Oh, sit.
They might spit on it too.
They probably spit. They probably.
No, this is PG, remember?
Is spitting not PG?
Have you ever been to Sydney and Cape Breton? They built this like gigantic fiddle that actually plays music. So it's like the largest fiddle in the world that plays music, but it's just like a speaker that's playing like fiddle music.
Oh,
They got
interesting. I've
Oh,
not-
No,
Hey,
I love
this
like
could be
small
a
towns with
functioning-
weird monuments like that.
Well, it's like the blueberry in Oxford, or there's
Yeah.
a giant lobster
Mhm.
in New Brunswick.
Yeah,
wait.
that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
The perfume bottle is actually a fountain in the summertime,
Okay.
but it comes out the front of it like it's spraying
it
perfume.
comes out in like
Oh.
mist gusts.
So here's going
Yes.
back to Sean's question was the name of the town. Where we don't need to pick like a province or a state or even a country, but like, can we choose what sort of geography we're looking at? Like, is this northern or like where?
Southern
Is it-
Ontario.
It's in Ontario. Okay. Sounds good. Connor's Crossing, Ontario. Sounds good. All right, so let's move on. So Kim, it is your turn. Your sentence to complete is, our town is infamous for ...
Well, we try to keep it, on the down low. We keep it kind of hush hush because we don't want to mess up the tourist dollars that we get from the giant spritzing perfume bottle monument in the middle of town. But this whole area is riddled with caves, and there have been some strange disappearances which always come back to somebody has fallen into a cave with a opening that we didn't know about.
So like also sinkholes.
Yeah, sinkholes. It's actually a really, really terrible place to have built a town. Modern surveyors would never have built a town here because they would have been like, oh my gosh, we can't. There's too many caves under this area.
But Augustus Connor said, we are going to do this.
So on the map,
There's just
on the map, there's all
everywhere.
these like spaces in between buildings. Are they maybe like?
That's just where buildings have like fallen into the ground.
It's like we
I
can't
love
build
that.
at any of these spots because they're just too like holes just down.
Some of them get turned into like a spelunking like business where you can go and like pay to go spelunking.
Yeah. Yeah, there are people who want to go.
Favor.
I bet that there are people who want to like really play up the spelunking, but the secretive council elders are
Too
like
dangerous.
"No, we will not. This is a nice town. We will
Right.
not have your tourists
Spelunky.
unless they're here to buy our scented.
Oh, I like that. So like the
Yes.
higher ups are keeping us out of these holes, and it's like why?
Yeah. Okay. All right. So we're back at the top now with Sean. Economically, our town is, and they give some examples: prospering, floundering, stagnant. So what's the economic situation of the town?
Early 80s.
Yeah.
Okay. So pre-free trade. So all right. So the town is the town's economy is doing all right now. There's still its perfume is largely it's purchased quite a bit in Toronto and in the Ottawa markets and the surrounding suburbs. Um, the the old businesses on the docks have largely decayed in recent years. The docks are a bit worn down, worn out. But on the whole, people are cautiously optimistic for the future.
So I guess these docks would be on like one of the lakes, eh?
Mm-hmm. You have to be.
Yeah, the lakes or one of the rivers. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was actually going to suggest just that it be on one of the Great Lakes, so that it's almost like an ocean front, which also would put this in cottage country, which is why we have so many people flocking to take their picture with our perfume bottle. They're going to be driving through here to their cottage anyway.
That's right.
Yeah, and this kind of stuff. Yeah, these handmade bath products are the kinds of things that people going through like a small town would want to pick up as like a souvenir or whatever, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, are you going to the cottage this weekend? Do pick me up some of the Connors Crossing bath products.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. All right, cool. So doing well. There's some old businesses around the dock that aren't doing great anymore. Things are sort of shut down by the docks, but the perfume bath product industry is booming, and so overall the town's doing fine, right?
Mm-hmm.
All righty. So next up is Jill. Oh, interesting. A notable local landmark is, and I guess this is apart from the giant perfume bottle fountain.
And the caves, yeah.
And the caves.
Yeah,
so notable local landmark.
An abandoned toy factory. It was like built up, and it used to be really colorful, and they had it like it looked kind of like a fun house. So, like the old owner used to try and make it look really fancy and fun, and but it's fallen into disrepair with kind of like the averageness of the economy in the town, and nobody has purchased this area to build it back up. So now it's just kind of like faded colors, and like kids would go by and like look in the window and they can see just abandoned machinery and stuff for making these toys.
Like
Boarded up, broken windows.
Yeah, that's a really good image of this like decrepit thing that used to be really colorful and brilliant. Yes, I like it. Okay.
He never agreed to sell the property to Connors Cosmetics.
Oh yeah, totally.
Sounds good. Okay, something that this just made me think of is we should be putting this stuff on the map. So Jill, do you want to put a text label on the building that is the abandoned toy factory? And then I believe, Kim, you're the one who came up with the giant perfume bottle monument, right?
That was Aleks.
Oh, okay. So Aleks
riffed on it.
Right. Aleks, do you want to indicate on the map where the monument is? Maybe you can make a little shape with the drawing tool, and then you can label it as the location of that fountain.
Sorry for my loud typing.
Cool. Toy factory. All right, used to be on the docks. That makes sense. That stuff's all kind of... Yeah. Okay, cool. All right, so that was...
Those sinkholes were part of how it shut down, like there was a big accident.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Mm.
And then they just didn't have like the money to fix it or whatever. All right, so cool. So that was Jill talking about our landmark, correct?
Yes.
Wait a second. Oh, I skipped one. Okay, so Aleks,
Yes.
A notable local organization is...
I want to think of something other than, like, what we've been
Mm-hmm.
doing.
I immediately started thinking of the Junior League Garden Society or something. So I'm over here like giggling, but I'm not trying to suggest take over.
Well, it's good. It's fine to give suggestions too. Something that's popping into my head is like, is there like a secret society, or like it can be anything. It says notable local organization, but go wherever you wish with it. 1 sec. I'm gonna close this door.
I want to say there's like, it's not official, but there's. Oh wait, until Kate gets back. How about it's not an official organization, but there is a local group of urban explorers that's quite large, just because of like all the caves and factories and stuff that have been abandoned.
Urban explorers. All right, with the caves. Do they have like a headquarters? Or
And are they adults or kids or teens or?
Yeah.
I'd say it would be like teens and adults.
Yeah. Okay. It's not safe for the kids to be like running around in those caves.
No, I don't think so.
Well, if it was an unofficial group, it wouldn't necessarily matter.
True. All right, we'll leave it at that for now, but we can expand on that as we play, right? Okay, so local organization, urban explorers, they may or may not have a like building in the town. We can add that if we want. All right, so Kim, last question. Our school's sports team is called ... and you can indicate maybe what that primary sports team would be for the school. What's their sport of choice?
Like all of the sports teams would be known by this particular sobriquet, but there's the one sport that the school is really known for, kind of thing.
Yeah, like what's the name of the team, but also what's their best sport? Sort of two questions, but I think you can handle it.
Yeah. Thank you. Well, what I'm trying to think of something to go along with them being on this huge lake.
Mm-hmm. Rowing, swimming.
No, I meant for the.
Oh, you mean for the name?
The name.
I see.
What's a scary kind? Maybe they're the pirates.
Okay.
Because it's always a scary thing. You have to have a scary thing for your sports team to scare the other team. But the pirates are actually and most people don't realize that there's really such a huge high school market for this particular sport. But there really is. They are really known for badminton.
Badminton. I love badminton. In high school.
See, there we go.
I calculated like the number of days that I could like forget my gym clothes and still get an 80% in gym. And every day that we played badminton, I definitely remembered my gym clothes on those days.
Yeah. We had an odd number of people in our gym class, and they would always pair us up to make us do things. And I was not a popular kid in high school, so I was always the odd one out. And they paired us up to make us play doubles badminton for like an entire 6 weeks. And so I had to play by myself against all these other teams.
Oh no.
And I still won. So a big old
That is a good ending.
keeping it PG to the establishment there.
I'd like to amend my economy answer earlier.
Okay, sure.
Clarify. So while things have been going pretty well, there are rumors in the town that.
We're doing rumors
We're
next.
going to get to rumors, so why don't you say?
All right, never mind then. That's fine.
These were the questions.
All right.
Now I have.
It's almost literally the next thing, except what I want to do is have Kim indicate on the map where the school is.
Cool. I was thinking about taking a full complex of buildings since it's like and maybe part of it's, because this is such a small town, it's the school for all ages of.
Yeah.
Is that cool?
Smart.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, there's like K to 12.
Yes. That's exactly what I had in mind.
All right, so you can go ahead and get that on the map, and then we'll start rumors with Shawn. So what were you thinking?
His mouth is full.
Oh, okay. Take your time. Take your time.
Yeah, no choking.
No choking. We can wait.
What are you eating?
I have prepared us a lovely thing of carrots and celery, not thinking about the crunch factor when I prepared it. Oops.
We're not that professional yet, don't worry.
But next session, no.
Yeah.
What is it, Mike?
So I'm thinking that economically, I said, the economics in town are good. There is a rumor amongst the adults that that Sally's Scents is at a risk of losing its place in the Sears catalog and the Eden's catalog to American usurpers. Big fancy New York brands.
Oh my gosh.
Right. So
Sally's
they're worried about that.
In the Sears catalog.
People are asking the Sears catalog rep about it, whether it's true or not, at their outlet store.
So to a New York scent company.
Well, who knows if it's a New York company, but they're saying it's a New York company.
Right. It's just a rumor. So this is the deal with all these rumors, is there may or may not be any truth to these at all. So it's a rumor that you heard from sources of varying trustworthiness.
Okay, you guys see where I put school there?
Yes. So
all of the buildings surrounding it are the school buildings.
Yep. And like that.
And then that little cubby hole where the word is where the playgrounds and the sports fields are.
Yep, makes sense. That looks good to me. All right. So next rumor is, Jill, what have you heard about Connor's Crossing?
I've heard that the birds act really strange in the town, and that they avoid, that you can never hear a bird in town.
Mm-hmm.
It's the smell.
Never hear. You might see some, but you never hear bird calls or bird songs or crows cawing, and you might see them, but you never hear them.
Not even down in the caves.
Scary.
That is scary. They're quiet birds.
Birds don't go in caves. Bats go in caves.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. So next up for a rumor is Aleks.
A fun kids rumor is that because of the pollution in the lake from all the perfume factories, there's a bunch of mutant fish and stuff in there with multiple heads and eyes and just crazy mutant animals in the lake.
Pollution in the lake has caused mutations in animals. Interesting. I like it. All right. Spoopy. Next is Kim. What rumor have you heard?
Okay, so there's a garden club. Now, I don't know actually if Ontario has such things, but I'm taking this from my childhood that most small towns had a garden club, and it was mostly middle-aged to older women. And so in the 80s, this would have been a group of old women who would get together once a month, and mostly for social purposes, but they would also talk about their gardening, and they would talk, get together for like sewing or quilting or knitting or crocheting type things. Home crafts.
Sure. Yep.
Sort of things, canning. And so there is such a group in the town of some of the middle-aged and older ladies. The rumor is that they're actually all former government agents.
Ooh.
That's kind of one of those things that kids tell each other,
Yeah.
Yeah, that may be your Meemaw, but
nice.
I'm telling you.
She used to be a spy.
Are they is it just are they doing something?
I don't know. That's to be seen, isn't it?
I love it.
Yes. Okay, cool. I like that too. All right. So we did rumors. That is it for now for building the town. So we're about ready to move into character creation. All right. So I sent you guys out a link to a PDF that contains a bunch of tropes, which you can use. You can use one of them, literally to start your character creation, or you can use those to spark your creativity to make a character of your own from scratch. So if you have an idea, but it's not really being represented by any of those tropes, feel free to do something all your own. The first thing that you want to do is sort of build the theme for your character. So like I said, you can just use the tropes to do that if you want, or come up with something unique. There's no limits on what you can do here. So your character will either be a child, a teenager, or an adult. And then once you've sort of figured out your age and the general theme that you want for your character, the way that you start fleshing out your character is you are going to assign your character's stats. So 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 6 different stats. And what you do is you assign a type of die to each of your stats. So you have a D4, a D6, a D8, a D10, D12, and D20. And you're going to assign one of those dice to each of your 6 stats. So the stats are brains, brawn, fight, flight, charm, and grit. And I can give a brief description of each of those if you guys want. Brains is sort of how book smart your character is, how well they understand problems, how well they're doing in school, whether they can solve problems. Brawn determines brute strength. So it's not how well they fight, just how strong they are, like how much they could lift, how much physical damage they could take, and how intimidating they are. Fight is your fighting stat. So this is how good you are at fighting. Flight is how fast you are. So how good you are at evading problems, both literally and figuratively, and how quick you are, both physically and verbally. Charm is how socially adept the character is, how good you are at reading emotions of somebody else, and how good you are at talking yourself out of situations. And grit is how hard it is to break you emotionally or physically. So somebody with a high grit stat will be able to keep a level head in the worst situations and will be able to keep their cool even when pushed hard. And it also determines like how street smart your character is.
One thing that I had wanted to discuss with you guys before going much further on the character creation is, obviously we have to have a reason that the 4 of our characters are actually hanging out together.
Yep.
And so from that point of view, I told you guys I was interested in the, where did it go?
The funny sidekick.
The funny sidekick.
Right.
That comes in both kid and teen flavors. And I was reserving my age information until we had kind of talked about our characters a little bit to see how that would best fit in with whatever group we come up with. We've had some RPGs where, because we didn't plan how we meshed together very well, that became an ongoing issue. So I may be a little more attuned to that idea than that is strictly necessary. Yeah.
Definitely feel free to chat about that kind of stuff now if you want to, but just so that you're aware, after you guys do some of the decision making about your own characters, there is a phase where we're all going to answer questions about each other. And so those questions are going to be how you link up your characters and establish the relationships that exist between them. That's not to say that you can't start doing that now, but that is like a formal part of the character creation process that we're going to do after this too. So
there will be pre-existing relationships before the actual game starts.
Yeah, and you might not know like everybody else, and you might not have a relationship with everybody else, but you will be connected to at least one other person. And then the trick for me, but when we come back and play our next session, or even maybe if we do like a little thing at the end of this, is to figure out like how and why you are all in the same place at the same time, and then hopefully create like a bit of a bond through your first encounter. But yeah, definitely discuss as much as you like. So if everybody else, I don't know if you guys know what age you were thinking of going with, but maybe you can let Kim know that, and that might help her decide for her character what she wants to do.
I'm going to
be a teen as well.
Okay.
I was planning to be a teen as well. So.
Right.
Okay, well there you go. It's when you're a funny sidekick, like if everybody had decided to be a kid, and I was a teen, well, funny sidekicks don't go with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think now, Kim, you could be a teen, or you could be a kid. You could be somebody's like younger sibling or something.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with this.
So, okay, teenage funny sidekick. You want me to print that off?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Cool.
I'm going old school so we don't have to share the electronics so much.
That sounds good. I'm taking physical notes as well. All right, so so what you need to do now, you're picking your theme, you're choosing maybe a trope or something like that. Then you also need to start assigning your dice. So I'll talk a little bit more about how the dice are going to come into play so that you can make your decision a little bit better. So yeah, like I said, you've got a D20, D12, D10, D8, D6, D4. When you assign that die to that stat, that's going to be the die that you roll when you're making a check that involves that stat. You're going to need to, in order to succeed, roll above whatever difficulty level I have set. So the difficulty generally is going to range from 1, which is something that you can't, like you're having to roll for it, so it's always something that's a little bit difficult. But 1 is sort of like the easiest. It's not too hard to succeed at a roll that the difficulty is 1, but it goes up to 20. So 20 would be amazing that you accomplished it, even if you are very skilled in that stat. So that's what you're thinking of when you're assigning these dice. So whatever you assign your D20, you are very good at that thing. upon first meeting you, anyone would be able to tell that you're really good at that thing. And D4, you are terrible at that thing. And upon first meeting you, everybody would know that you are terrible at that thing just by having a look at you or talking with you briefly. So they suggest that a good way to approach this, if you're not too sure, is to pick your D20 and your D4 stats first. So think of the thing that you want to be the absolute best at and the thing that you want to be the absolute worst at. Assign those first, and then assign the other dice to those things. And also consider how your strongest stat and your weakest stat like complement each other, and like what that sort of means for how your character is.
What's the significance of the +1 that appears in the stats for some of the pre-made characters?
So if you are choosing to be a child versus a teen versus an adult, there's going to be certain stat modifiers that come along with that. So children have +1 to flight and charm. So you would like add 1 to your die roll for flight and charm. Mm-hmm. Teens have +1 to fight and brawn. And adults have +1 to brains and grit.
So if we're all playing teens, we're all going to have those bonuses.
You're all going to have fight. You're going to be really fighty. And you're also going to all be rebellious. You all get the rebellious trait, I think, if you're a teen.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what kind of like archetypes people are going to be. Because I know I just picked one of like the suggested archetypes.
Yeah.
I
was just gonna say I'm gonna go with conspiracy theorist. Yeah.
Oh, so was I.
Maybe that's how we connect. You know.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how you know each other.
Yeah.
Alex, what did you pick?
Brutus
Ooh.
Jock.
Okay.
I'm excited. I feel like I would say that about like all of them though, but I'm excited.
I know.
There was a lot of really good ones.
So we have 2 conspiracy theorists, we have a jock, and we have a like quirky sidekick.
Funny sidekick, yeah.
Funny sidekick? All right.
Yeah.
What are you doing here, jock?
We'll find out.
You got
the funny sidekick is probably to the jock. I mean, if you have a choice between being a sidekick to a jock or conspiracy theorist, pick the jock.
Yeah, somebody did comment that the tropes in the book already have the dice assigned to the stats, so you can use those dice assignments if you like.
Yeah.
I will, however, allow you guys to rearrange them if you want to. But if you're cool with what's there, then that's totally fine. Okay.
In our town, a jock is somebody who's really good at badminton, right?
Obviously, yeah.
True. Star.
I forgot about that.
Totally
That's good. Yeah.
I feel like we're making fun of badminton.
I do love badminton.
Is awesome.
It is. I was actually making fun of British jocks. Not our British jock, but as a general.
Right. Right, okay.
Yeah, we're playing a pen and paper RPG on the internet with people watching us, the nerds of one.
It's true.
All right.
All right, let's see. So you've all picked your age, which means if you're teen, you should have rebellious. I don't know if that's included on the trope that you chose.
Yeah, it's that plus 2 others.
Okay, so...
from your strengths here, just check off 2.
Well, yeah, but it says choose 2, and it already has 1 chosen, so I'm asking, is it an additional 2?
I presume
I think it is, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So two more strengths. And if you chose a trope, there's some suggestions there. So if you guys are okay with those, you can just choose those. But you can, like I said, for everything here, you can choose something else if you want to. And then after you've chosen 2 strengths, you also have to choose 2 flaws, which again, I think there are some suggestions for what your flaws might be based on the trope that you chose.
Right.
And just so you know, the strengths do actually provide a mechanical bonus in some cases. Well, I think in all cases, whereas flaws don't hinder you mechanically. They are meant to be thematic to like help you role play your character.
Gotcha.
And I guess maybe just let me know when you guys have your flaws chosen, and then we can move on to the question business.
Okay, I think I've got my flaws and my strengths figured out and my stats.
Okay.
I'm gonna run and grab my iPad real quick to see if I can get a digital copy of this on the go.
Yep. Just reading the chat. Tyler's actually gone now, but there's some...
Okay.
More trouble than it's worth.
All right, so we have a few options for answering questions. There's sort of 3 different speeds with which we can do this. So there's quick, one-sided, and complete. So with quick, everybody will just answer one question about one other person. One-sided is everybody will answer one question about each other person. And complete, I need to refresh my memory on that one. Quick start, one-sided. You answer 2 questions about each character that you know at the table, and 1 about each character that you don't know. So, what's your preference? I think I would prefer to do either one-sided or complete. There's no reason for us to rush through it with quick, and I would rather our characters have like more rich connections with one another. But to me, it doesn't matter between one-sided and complete. So do you want to answer 1 question about each other character, or 1 to 2 questions about each other character, depending on how well you know them?
I kind of like complete.
Yeah, I'm cool with complete.
All right.
Because you said it was each character that we know. So if we decide that, for instance, that my character and Shawn's character don't know each other, then I'm only answering 1 question about him anyway.
That's right.
Right?
All right. Yeah.
And in a town this small, we definitely, I mean, you know everybody, even if all you know is...
Yeah, I think when we're talking about do you know the person or not, it's more, are you actually close with them? Like, do you have a relationship? And like, you probably do all kind of know.
Like we know of each other.
Exactly.
Right. And if you don't know each other directly, like, you know somebody, like their parents or whatever, you know somebody related to them.
Exactly. Yeah. The high school I went to, there were 53 people in my graduating class. Mm-hmm. So even the people I didn't know well, I knew several things about them, superficial things, you know, what part of town they lived. Yep. You know, maybe I knew that their mom was the lunch lady, you know.
Yep. Makes sense.
So,
all right, so I think we're ready. First, what we're going to do before we start answering questions is I'm going to get everybody to do an introduction and summary of their character for everybody else. So you can divulge as much as you want about your character, basically the kinds of stuff you think everybody should know about you. And also you should come up with connections at this point, because we're going to need to know about the connections to do the questions. So you should have at least 1 meaningful connection to somebody else in the party, but you can have more than 1 if you want. And I think we can just use the same order that we rolled for earlier. So maybe I'll get Shawn to go first.
All right. So my character is Tracy Ergstrom. He's 16 years old. His He's living here with his mother. His mother and his father have separated. His father works for Ontario Hydro. And still supports the family, provides support, but his mother works at the local library, which is where he spent a lot of his time, and he's read up on a lot of the weird history of the town, and he's seeing the patterns that other people aren't seeing. He's putting it together, doesn't know why people won't listen. Well, he has his theories why they won't listen, but so that's who he is. Are we worried about mechanical stuff at this point, or purely just background?
I think just background stuff is fine, but it's up to you, whatever you feel.
Okay, so that is where he's at this point.
Okay,
it's likely where he's probably come in contact with the other conspiracy theorist yet to be introduced, and he's probably had to help. Maybe he's helped the jock with his homework or something in exchange for keeping the bullies off him, because no one messes with the star badminton player.
All right, so Jill, can you briefly tell us what your character's name is so that I can write a connection next to Shawn?
My character's name is going to be Carol. And she is very secret. Oop.
Okay. Sorry, I'm getting the name for Shawn's, and then we'll do the full description
Carol.
in a sec. So Shawn, so Tracy has a connection to Carol because of their conspiracy theorist ways.
For some reason, they both believe in taking shelter in the library.
Yeah, okay, they've met there. Okay. And we've also got a connection to our jock character, whose name is
Jason.
Jason the jock. You helped him with homework, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, and that's it for Tracy?
I think so.
All right, and Jill, it is your turn next, so tell us about Carol.
She's very secretive about her conspiracy theories, so she kind of meets in the library with Tracy, kind of with a glance over her shoulder, and not really letting on that she's also kind of buying into all kinds of conspiracy theories and stuff like that. She is kind of with the popular clique in school, but this is kind of her true passion is just finding the truth of the matter and everything, but she's trying to be secretive about it and kind of play this double life kind of a thing.
Okay, so she in everyday life she sort of pretends that she's not into all of this stuff,
but she super is.
Okay.
She maybe her parents are like mail carriers or something. They're not home very often when she gets home, so she has a lot of time to think and brood, I guess. Maybe they're holding two jobs.
Okay, so she's home alone a lot. All right,
except for the amazing town parties that she always goes to and looks totally fly.
Okay, so she goes to lots of parties. Cool, sounds good. And so you've got connections then with Tracy. Any other connections that you think make sense? So we've got the jock, and we've also got Kim.
If you're semi-popular as well, we would probably know each other, or at least hang out casually.
We could be friends.
How
17.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Same.
Maybe we're in the same class and we sit next to each other and pass notes or something.
Yeah, we're not best friends, but we're in the same circle
friends,
of high school.
Yep. We're in a similar clique.
Okay, sounds good. All right, so Aleks is up next. Your character is Jason.
Jason Connor.
Jock. Star badminton player, is that correct?
Badminton. I'm friends with the funny sidekick, character who hasn't been named yet.
Hey, Kim, what's the name of your character going to be?
Jeff.
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 Connection to Jeff. How are you connected with Jeff? Are you just friends?
Yeah, we're just friends.
We could be neighbors.
He's in the same clique with my sister.
Yeah,
Carol.
I was hoping for something like that. That's what I was thinking too. I didn't give myself a last name because I wanted to be a sibling. What's our last name? Any ideas?
Okay.
Okay.
Bradley.
All right.
Yeah, so I'm friends with Jeff. Hang out with Carol at school, like casually. My family was one of the original families of the town, so I'm pressured to like live up to that. I really like badminton. I like being the best. I like being strong. But I wish that I had more time to like run around and explore the town and get into trouble. But I've been told that if I get into trouble, I could get kicked off the team, so I don't. Badminton is serious. You have to be.
Yeah.
Serious business, badminton.
Yeah, and I'm 17 years old.
Okay, 17.
I guess we don't really need this now.
Kicked off team. Cool. All right. And that's it for Jason?
Yep.
And so now we have Kim, who will tell us about Jeff.
Okay, my character is Jeff Bradley, Carol's little brother. I am 14. I'm afraid of spiders and also girls, except for my sister, who doesn't count, except for when she's mad at me.
Yeah.
My motivation is pretty simple. I just don't want to get pounded, you know.
Yeah.
I'm this medium height for my age, skinny kid. I'm thinking like John Cryer's character in Pretty in Pink, kind of that kid everybody thinks is just a little bit weird, but they're also pretty able to just talk their way out of anything. So kind of like, I don't know, I'm kind of giving myself a doctor vibe too. I can talk myself out of anything, but I'm not much in an actual physical fight. We've got drama club, newspaper, and that's actually how I really became friends with Jason. Is my very first assignment was to write a school paper piece on our star badminton player, and I did a good job, but we had a couple of misunderstandings while I was writing that story, and I managed to talk my way out of it and really make him laugh, and so he's like, okay, you don't completely suck, kid.
So I let him hang around me.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's and besides, he also
like
noticed that my clever repartee attracts girls, but then I don't actually have the wherewithal to follow through on that, and then here he is,
Okay.
Okay.
I'm his puppy.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Jester.
Love it. Okay.
Yeah.
That's great.
The King's Court Jester. That's it.
Although
Perfect.
Jason probably would make that comparison.
No, he doesn't have the intellectual wherewithal to do that.
But you would never say that to his face.
Never ever. He is my pal.
All right.
And you know that I'd punch you if you said that.
Oh, yeah.
Hey man, it's good to be king. Not that I would know that, but it's good to hang out with the king.
It's better to be the
All right.
chamberlain.
Okay, give me a sec here. We're about to do questions. I just need to keep track of what we've rolled on these.
Yes.
Oh. Negative. And then don't know. All
I
right.
have a question.
Yep, sure.
looking at the character sheet,
Mm-hmm.
underneath the backpack, there is something called adversity tokens.
Mm-hmm.
What are those?
I'll tell you about adversity tokens. So I mentioned already that when you need to do something, that's called a skill check. I'll be setting a difficulty for that skill check. You'll then be rolling the die associated with whatever skill applies. And to be clear, you get to sort of choose that. You get to role play. So if you're in a physical confrontation with somebody, you can choose to use your charm to fight them. If you want to try to convince them not to fight you, right? If you want to use your words, you can choose whatever skill you want as long as you explain how you did that. You'll roll your dice, and whatever number you get, you need that to be equal to or higher than the difficulty that I set. There's some tricks with rolling the dice where if you roll the highest number on the die and you haven't yet succeeded, it explodes and you get to roll it again. So that's one of the ways that you can get sort of higher than you might normally be expected to get. But adversity tokens are another tool that you have to modify your die roll. So say you had like a difficulty 7 and you rolled a 6. If you have adversity tokens, you can spend an adversity token to add 1 to your die roll. And you can use as many adversity tokens as you want to modify your dice like that. The way that you get them is by failing at a check. So there's sort of like this benefit that you get when you fail something. So that's how those work. Okay, I think we're ready for questions. So what we'll do is we'll go through our initiative order again, starting with Shawn. What I'm going to get you to do is for each other person, you're going to roll a d20, and I have a list of questions here that depend on whether you know the person or not. And for somebody that you know, you'll need to, we decided to go with the long one, right? So you'll need to roll twice for somebody that you'll know. You'll need to roll on the positive and the negative question table. So who do you want to start with?
Start with the jock, I guess.
All right. So you do have a connection to Jason. So you can roll me 1d20 for your positive question, and I'll tell you what it is.
10.
All right. 10. What is this character sacrificing to protect you?
That's a good one, because I am literally protecting him from bullies.
Yeah.
And I'm paying you in homework. I suspect that he's probably sacrificing some social cachet with like the bullies. There are probably a few people there who think he's soft because he doesn't believe in brutalizing people with glasses.
Right.
So if those are normally, I'd say who wants friends like those, but that could become important.
Sure. So social standing with those people that he's protecting you from.
With the sociopaths, yeah.
Sociopaths. All right. Sounds good. And now you get to roll another d20 for your negative question.
18.
18. You hurt this character years ago. Why can't you apologize?
I can't apologize because he doesn't know it was me.
Okay.
Oh my god. The drama.
What was that?
Yes.
Yeah.
What do you want to elaborate on what it was, or do we want to leave that?
I'll come up with something.
Okay.
It's kind of fun if we just leave it open.
Sure. I like that answer though. That got a reaction in the chat.
Drama says.
Well, I mean, we wouldn't be teenagers unless there were a double and triple helping of drama.
Right. Exactly. You are all teenagers. Okay, Shawn. So that was your questions about Jason. Who do you want to answer questions about next?
Why don't we do Jeff next, who I don't know? So that'd be a single D20.
That's right.
4.
4. What charming habit is this character known for throughout the town?
I can talk my way out of anything.
Yeah. He is known for always having a compliment. Always has a heartfelt sounding compliment whenever he meets someone.
That's so nice.
Cool.
I like the phrase heartfelt
Oh yeah,
sounding.
true.
May or may not be genuine, but he's got
But he
one.
can come up with it. Like that's.
Yeah. No.
But it's a really good thing if it is.
Yeah.
And then Carol, I guess.
Sure.
And we know each other, so I'm gonna roll once for each, right?
Yep. Let's do positive first.
Positive. I get number 1.
Ooh, number 1.
Get that out of your system right now.
Ooh, this is good. What did this character do for you that makes you owe them a debt you can't repay?
That's like the opposite of the other one.
Right. I'm deeply in debt. It seems. Yeah, that's it. Carol loaned me a copy of a first edition of Orwell's 1984 before the second printing, where they started making the changes that were mandated by the government.
I love it.
And you know what? 1984 is only a year away. Wake up, sheeple.
Yeah. I love it.
Perfect. I love that. Okay. And we have, that's
the one
all...
negative
okay.
one, I think.
Yeah, you need another negative
negative
die.
1 too, right?
Yeah.
Number 2 on the negative
Number
chart.
2.
I can see why you bought another set of dice.
Ooh, this is good. I love
The
this part
drama.
of this game. It's so fun. Okay. Yeah. All right. What secret are you keeping from this character that you would be devastated if they found out?
Oh dear.
Remember, you're a teenager, so like a lot of things could
Totally.
devastate you.
Yeah.
It could
Exactly.
be a big secret.
Absolutely.
Yeah, what's your grit?
Um.
It's not your lowest score, but it's down there.
Yeah. No. So like, I accidentally poured Orange Crush on her book, and I haven't told her yet.
Oh my god.
I've been putting it off for a while, ironically practicing my double speak in the process. But it makes me feel pretty filthy.
Orange Pop on that first edition
I'm
book.
so upset.
Actual
Actual Jill is like, oh my god, what?
That's so terrible.
Yeah. I've had friends spill all sorts of things on books and games. I'm speaking from the heart here.
Oh, that hurts.
Yeah.
Okay,
This is
that's a good one.
All right. So I think that's all of Tracy's questions, right?
Yeah.
So we
Yes.
will move to
Do
Carol.
I have to roll twice for everybody, I think?
Do you know everybody? You do seem to have a connection with everybody. Yeah, you're going to roll and answer so many questions.
We're all
Yeah.
really connected.
Okay.
Yeah. I think
That's a good thing, though. It'll
Yeah.
make this easier.
it makes sense as well, since you're all teenagers in a really small town. So
Yeah, like we're in the same school. A lot of us are in the same classes.
yeah.
Okay, so I'll start. I'll
Who do you
just
wanna
start
start? Yeah.
from like rolling order. So I'll start with Tracy. Yeah.
Tracy.
20.
Okay. So positive die 20. You wasted one of your 20s. All right. What did this character give you that you treasure? Oh, did you guys trade first eds?
Trade what?
Maybe. First
First
edition.
edition books. It's up to you.
I'm not as well versed in like
Conspiracy books.
like the time period. So like I'm not sure what existed back then and what didn't.
We don't really have to worry too much
Okay.
about that. Like, we can just, whatever you say, that's now
Right.
canon. We're not going to say things like, well, like when was Orange Pop?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Okay.
doesn't matter.
Okay. I'm gonna say
Yeah.
like a music album or something like that, or like a mixtape. Did they make mixtapes back then?
Yes,
Oh,
we
yeah.
did.
A mixtape.
A mixtape. Aww. That's so cute.
And if you listen to it
Yeah, exactly,
backwards-
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. Rewind
Yeah.
the cassette and.
You haven't done that yet,
Yeah.
but someday you will, and
Yeah.
you'll be like, oh. All right. Negative die for Tracy.
9.
That's when we invented mixtapes, yes. All right, 9. What is the most dishonest thing you've seen this character
Most
do?
dishonest thing.
Mhm.
Do you secretly know about
Oh!
the
I love that. Can we do that? Is that okay?
Are
I'm
you
just
just
yeah. I'm
waiting
like
for Tracy to
I like
finally
saw
fess up?
it happen, or like I was walking into the library when it happened, and then I just did like a double take because it like was like upsetting for me. But by that time, he like cleared it away and everything, and then acted like nothing happened.
So you
Yeah,
know
and the
about pop.
longer that it's taking for him to tell me is like the most dishonest thing.
But you're also specifically not
Right.
asking about it.
I'm trying to let him.
Because
I'm
you
trying to
want
let
him
him
to
come
stay.
forward on his own because I know,
Yeah.
like I
Yeah.
know that in his heart he's a good guy.
A quick question: is this a book you gave to him to belong to him, or a book you get loaned to him?
I was
think
under
it
the
was
impression it was loaned.
I was working on
Okay.
the notion.
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
loaned.
Okay. Yeah.
Mhm. All right.
Because if you gave it to him, that wouldn't have as
Right.
much as
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
once
yeah.
it's his, he can pour whatever
Totally.
pop
I was
that
under
he
the
wants,
impression that it was a
right?
loan, so that's like I'm just waiting
I think it
for
Yeah.
you know the confession and to clear this up. But the longer it goes,
Yeah.
the worse it is.
Yeah. All right. Cool. So that's your positive and negative for
Yep.
Tracy.
Okay, that
Do you want to go?
I
Which way are
lost
we
my
going
D20.
now?
I'll grab another one. Okay. So next,
Are you sure you have another one?
the next would be Jason. I'm like, I'm not
Right.
even going to answer that question.
That's not even worth answering.
So
Okay.
Jason, a positive
So-
first.
Pop.
3.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. You guys you haven't rolled any doubles yet. All right. What great kindness did this character do for you that they don't even remember, but
Aw.
you do?
When we were kids, we were like probably like a closer friendship back then. And this was like, you know, we were really little, like 6 or 7, and we were walking near the waterfront, and I almost fell in, but he caught me just in time, and I've had a fear of deep water ever since, but like he saved my life then. I can't swim. I would have
Aw.
drowned for sure, but he caught me
Right.
when we were playing on the pier when we shouldn't have been.
Right. And you guys are siblings, so.
No,
that makes
that's
sense. Cool.
that's the
Oh, wait.
jock. That's the jock.
Oh. Sorry, I'm
They're-
getting
yeah,
Jason
they're
and
the
Jack
same
mixed
age.
up. Okay, gotcha. All right, so negative die for
Okay.
Jason.
12.
12. How far would you go to avoid being alone with this character?
How far would I go to avoid being alone with him?
Yeah.
Like, what are
so-
some reasons that a teenager would not want to
Well,
be alone?
clearly
with
I
him?
have a crush on him, so I'm gonna go through great
Clearly.
lengths to not be alone in the room.
Because that
Yeah,
would
that'd be absolutely
right?
terrifying. How far would I go?
Well, and also if he's a big sports star, he might be dating one
Oh,
of your
true,
friends.
yeah. So then it would be even more awkward. how far would I go? I don't understand how to qualify that. Like, making up false excuses to get out of the situation, I guess.
Yeah, like, I guess it's just like how extreme is your not wanting to be in the room.
I think it's probably just like making up excuses, but not like but nothing drastic.
Okay, you wouldn't like run away
because I'm very secretive as well, so I'm pretty confident that I can hide my true feelings under like layers of secrecy.
Yeah. Sorry, I just want to acknowledge that we have somebody watching in the chat who just bought the game before isolation and just finished reading the rules. So that's really awesome. Let us know if we mess anything up, because I've only played this game once before myself.
Oh, I think they have to leave, actually. It says sad I have to go.
That's too bad.
But you can always catch the stream. We're going to upload it on YouTube later. So if you want to follow us on YouTube, subscribe, and we can, you'll see it later.
Like and subscribe and follow us. Okay.
Where are we?
So we've done Tracy, we've done Jason. We are on
my
Jeff
little
now,
brother.
I believe.
Okay, so a positive.
A
3 again.
Okay, so re-roll.
16.
All right, 16's good. What would losing this character mean to you?
Oh my god, that would be absolutely devastating. I would blame myself forever. Even if it was out of my control, I would obviously be absolutely devastated in every way, shape, or form. It would be awful. Worst possible scenario.
Yeah. So
are you guys are close?
I would like to be close if that's okay. I always
Well, it doesn't have to be.
True. Yeah.
Right? You are very caring.
I don't want to be the jerky older sister, because I did that growing up, and I want to not be the jerky older sister in my imagination.
Which is maybe a reason why, if Kim chose, she doesn't feel necessarily the same way back. But that'll be up to her. So you would be devastated if you lost this character. Okay. What about negative?
12, was that what I got last time?
12's already.
12 again. I'll do it again.
Okay.
9.
9's already been rolled.
12 again. 4.
Okay, so
I got 4.
Again. Don't roll again. Oh, okay. What we can do if it gets too hard is we can just go up or down from the number that you rolled, but we'll do 4.
We might have to start doing that with me and Jeff.
Yes, exactly. So, all right, a negative for number 4. What are you sure this character is hiding from you?
Something in his dresser drawer, but I'm not sure what it is.
Okay.
He's also the best friend of your crush.
So, also, I think he's hiding Jason's feelings toward me.
Okay, so nothing.
No, I want both. I want both.
Jason's feelings. Okay. And
oh my god,
little brothers are secretive.
Feelings in your dresser drawer?
It could be a diary. I don't know.
It could be. It's just full of information about how Jason feels about you. That's all that Jeff
definitely.
About, right? Okay.
I'm sure there's actually nothing about that, but Jill's no, there's nothing. But Carol is I know.
Carol's certain.
Conspiracy Carol is sure that there's tons of information there. Yeah.
And just as a thought, by the time we get down to my questions, we could always duplicate, because what it would mean to Carol to lose me is what is completely different than what it would mean to me to lose Shawn.
Somebody else, for sure. Yeah. All right. So speaking of which, Carol, you're all done, which means we move on to Jason.
Me.
Jason, who do you want to start with?
Might as well start with Tracy.
Okay, Tracy, and you do have a connection.
Yes.
So you're going to roll
D20?
Yep, for positive. You're going to use the one on roll 20, right?
Yep. if it'll work.
It worked before. 2.
2.
All right. What do you admire about this character but would never tell them?
I think that... Oh, this is for Tracy.
Yeah.
I think that it's cool that Tracy is smart. And I know that, like, I recognize that I'm not.
Okay.
And I secretly, like, kind of admire that about him.
But you're like cool guy, so it's not cool to be smart,
it's not cool
nerdy.
to be a nerd, but I think that
but
he's
you
kind
do.
of cool in his own, like, nerd way.
Yeah, okay. I like that nerdiness. So you appreciate that about him. Cool. All right, negative die for Tracy.
I'm just making my little notes because I know that I'll forget.
Yeah. I'm
Negative
taking
for Tracy, 18.
18. Okay, we've already rolled 18. Do you want to try another?
2 for negative.
Already rolled 2. Try one more, and if this is a duplicate, we'll do the bump up and down. Okay, we didn't do...
16?
Yeah, 16's good. 16. How far would you go to make this character suffer?
Whoa.
That's quite the flip.
Now, it's up to you how you want to deal with this. If you don't, yeah, it's up to you how you want to deal with this. You could say, not very far at all. I wouldn't do that if you want. But maybe there's some, like, little thing, you know?
I don't think that I would. I wouldn't necessarily go super out of my way to not make him suffer.
Okay.
But, like, I'll help him out. But if it would come to, like, any major detriment to me, I wouldn't. Like,
if I
on
weren't
social
doing your
points,
homework.
fine. But, like,
Right.
anything other than, like, losing some popularity or, like, something... If it was anything, like, huge, I wouldn't go out of my way to, like, help him.
If your grades started slipping because I wasn't doing your homework well enough.
Oh, yeah, then it would be done.
Okay. So, yeah, okay, I think I get it. All right, so we've got Tracy, then Carol. And you also know Carol.
I know everybody, yeah.
Yep, so positive die for Carol. 20.
We had 20 positive.
Yeah, that's already been rolled.
10 positive.
10 also has already been rolled. Do one more.
12 positive.
12. Okay, 12 has not been rolled on positive. All right. Why do you have a bond with this character that can never be broken?
Well, we've been friends since we were kids.
Yeah.
And, like, since growing up, we've kind of, like, grown apart because that's what happens.
Right.
Like, we still hang out in school, but I still consider her, like, a friend. Even though we aren't necessarily close anymore. Like, I don't know, like...
But that bond will... Yeah, for sure. All right. And negative?
Let's see. No.
Okay,
20 negative.
Yeah, 20 is good. All right. How did this character betray you the last time you confided in them?
Ooh. Let's see.
That cat is
I
killing
feel like I told her something that she assumed I'd also told Jeff, and then started talking with Jeff about it, but Jeff didn't know.
And then once Jeff knows...
I'm trying to think what that would be. Once Jeff knows, it's done.
Right.
I can't tell Jeff anything.
I like how you guys think I can't keep secrets. We'll see about that.
All right. You don't need to pick what it is right now. We can leave that open the same way. Yeah, we've done that. We've done that before already. So, all right. So now it's time for Jeff for you to roll for Jeff. So positive. 8
positive.
Is good. Yep. What is your private nickname for this character and why?
Private as in like between us, or private as in my head?
Oh, whichever one you want. Yeah, whichever one you prefer.
I don't know. I'm not really a nickname person, so this is hard to come up with.
Right.
Do you guys have any suggestions?
It could be something as simple as doofus. You know, like in your head, you're always thinking of me as doofus.
So yeah,
doofus, or you know,
yeah,
or whatever.
So you're friends, but Jeff is this sort of goofy
kid,
quirky, funny kid. So yeah, I don't know.
I kind of have this impression that you're constantly surprised that we're still friends, because I'm a lot younger than you, and I'm not good at badminton. I'm clumsy. I'm not good with girls. I don't fit in your clique, et cetera, et cetera.
My other friends are all like, "Why do you hang out with this?" Like,
exactly.
Kid.
And you are at a loss to explain it yourself. But you know, we just are. You just kind of enjoy my antics or whatever. It really, really is very similar to the king and his fool. You know?
Yeah, I like that.
No, I'll go with doofus just because like that seems like something that would be appropriate, honestly.
Yeah.
Good suggestion.
Doofus. Okay. Do you call him this to his face or not?
No.
Yeah. All right.
Only when he's feeling especially caring.
All right, so that is the positive one. You need a negative one for Jeff.
Oh, I keep doing the wrong syntax because I'm used to the Discord robot. 7 negative?
7, okay. What do you need to take from this character for their own good? What do you need to take from them? What do you need to take from Jeff for his own good? Ooh. These can be tricky.
Like addicted to soft drinks or something.
In the 80s, we didn't care.
Yeah, it's fine.
Take from Jeff for his own good.
What about
again,
like
I don't know.
some kind of loud toy or some kind of like something that will keep him from being a target of bullies or something, maybe?
One of those hand buzzers?
Oh my god.
What?
Yeah, that's it. That's exactly it.
I've got it, you guys. My Walkman. I'm always listening to stuff on my Walkman, and I never pay attention to other people. And you're like, Jeff, if you don't get rid of that Walkman, how are you ever going to have a girlfriend? Because I use it to avoid talking to girls.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really like the hand buzzer.
There's also there could also just be his fashion sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry, you can no longer wear those checkered Vans.
Dude, long hair is never going to be in fashion again.
So did you want to stick with hand buzzer, or do you like any of those other ideas?
I think I will stick with hand buzzer. Like he doesn't always have it, but he pulls it out more often than would be funny. It's funny sometimes, but not as often as he uses it.
Right.
That bit of material that he doesn't realize.
So how long has it been since you committed this felony theft of my property, sir?
I need to take it.
It's for your own good.
Yeah, you still have it, but he wants to take it.
I feel like you shouldn't have it.
He's looking for an
opportunity. Borrowed
opportunity.
it from you, and true friends always return what they borrow.
Yeah, Tracy.
Yeah,
right?
In pristine condition.
All right. Okay, so I think that's it for Jason. Jeff, we can move on to your questions. Do you want to start with Tracy?
Yes, I don't know Tracy, so it's the 1d20, right?
That's right. And we shouldn't have too many doubles since we've only rolled on this table once.
Okay, 8.
8 on the don't know table. Based on what you know, how is this character different from the rest of their family?
Well, Tracy's mom is the school secretary. And Tracy's dad runs the hardware store.
Tracy's dad.
Oh, wait, no, Tracy's dad is gone.
Yep.
Tracy's mom is the school secretary. I don't actually know anything about his dad because he's gone. But Tracy's, I'm sorry?
She's also the librarian, but I don't think that those necessarily have to be mutually exclusive.
Small school.
In a school that size, she could easily be both.
Yep.
So Tracy's mom is the school secretary, and I have never seen two people less alike who claim to be related in my life, because she's nice and she's warm and personable, and this one is just so standoffish.
Yeah.
And of course, we know because we're putting it together that it's because he doesn't know me and he's a conspiracy theorist. But
right.
Jeff does not know these things. Jeff
just think that he's reclusive and weird.
Yeah, he comes off as reclusive and weird and
Jeff is used to people responding really well to him socially, right? Like being able to riff with them.
Exactly, and this guy doesn't do that. And the reason you don't is, of course, because you don't know me and you're a conspiracy theorist. But I don't know these things. I'm just like, oh, what a jerk.
Yeah. All right. Sounds good. All right. So what about Carol? You do know Carol.
Carol is my sister.
So we do a positive die for Carol.
Okay. What hasn't been rolled on the positive table? I'm like
4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 11, 14, 15, 17, 18, 19. Quite a few things.
Oh, okay. I thought, what
we
about
just
13?
have bad luck with rolling.
What? 13 hasn't been rolled. Do you want to just pick 13?
Yeah. Well,
okay.
I just rolled it.
Oh, okay.
I thought there were only a couple, but when you named off a lot, I was like, oh, well, I'll just roll.
I just rolled a lot of 12s in a row. Is what happened.
Yeah.
And then Aleks also rolled a 12, and then there we were. Yeah.
All right, so let's do number 13. This is a positive.
Uh-huh.
What about this character always makes you happy?
The thing that makes me happiest about my sister Carol is that even though it's pretty plain that I annoy her on a regular basis, she's never mean to me in front of her popular friends.
Ah. Cool. Oh, friends. Perfect. And a negative die for Carol?
7.
7 has been rolled.
2.
2 has also been rolled.
Negative.
Try one more.
13.
Oh, you're good with 13. Double 13s. All right. What part of this character's personality scares you?
Well, the newspaper is put together in a corner of the library. So I am well aware of her friendship with Tracy, that weirdo.
Okay.
And that really concerns me because I'm like, does she like this guy? He's not a nice person,
You just say that because you're part of the mainstream corporate school media.
Okay, Yogi.
All right. So you know about her friendship with Tracy, and you think that's weird. It doesn't match up with.
It's not even that it's weird. It's that he really concerns me, and I see how she looks over her shoulder when she goes over there to sit with him.
Mm-hmm.
You're worried for her.
So what's going on there? Is she,
getting in trouble?
Does she like this guy? Is she like getting into real trouble with this guy? Because I could see him being that sort. He fights the law, but the law wins.
All right. Sounds good. So now we are on Jason for a positive die.
Oh, okay. 14?
Yep, 14 is good. What is the bravest thing you've ever seen this character do?
So, he probably really wouldn't like it getting around town that he was some sort of, hero or whatever. I don't remember him snatching my sister off the key and keeping her from drowning. I was way too little. I was not with them that day.
Mm-hmm.
But I saw him yank a little girl out of the street. Like some tourist was barreling through on their way to the stupid perfume bottle out in front of stupid Sally's over there across from the school. And they were just barreling down through and just about ran this kid over, and he snatched her right out of the street, man.
Wow.
He almost sprained his ankle.
Well done, Jason. So brave. All right, negative die for Jason.
5.
I think 5 is good. What does this character have that you want to take from them? That sounds very similar to a different question, but is technically different.
Yeah, this might not be for my own good. Or
right.
Like he needs to take from me.
Yeah,
This is just what does he want?
What does this character have that you want to take from them? So something that you sort of covet of Jason's.
Right. So everybody in town thinks I have a big crush on your girlfriend. Because you have a girlfriend. You're just not as close with her as you are with my sister. Yeah. But you and Carol have always kind of explained, no, we don't feel like that about each other. We feel more like,
we're just friends.
We're just friends. I think of her as a sister or something. And y'all talk about it like that, right? So you do have an actual girlfriend, and that is like Carol's BFF. But everybody thinks I have a big crush on your girlfriend.
She's a Stephanie.
She is a Stephanie.
Total Stephanie. Total ladies' hair.
She has the biggest hair in town. Her dad has stock in Aquanet.
So, what is the thing that you covet? Is it his girlfriend or not?
Is her name going to be Stephanie?
It's not, but that's what everybody thinks.
Okay. So you're saying it's not actually true.
The thing that I would take from him is the relationship.
Oh, but okay.
Because I have to hang out with Stephanie a lot.
So you would rather if we weren't dating?
Oh, I see.
Yeah. And people wrongly get the impression it's because I would like to be with Stephanie myself, but that's not it. Right.
I got you. Okay, I'm with you now.
Yeah.
All right. So I think that's it for questions.
That was really fun.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm glad we did the complete thing, because last time that I played this, I did one-sided. Which is also good, I think, but it's a little bit faster. So if you want to get going faster, then that's good. But this creates a lot, connecting you all together. Like I feel we have some history here. Yeah.
We have stuff to work off of when we're role playing.
Yes.
I could see this being beneficial for any role-playing game to kind of start with something like this.
Yeah, and there are other games I've played that do this sort of thing. Like Fate is one that's coming to mind. Typically, you answer questions about other people in that as well.
Yeah.
So, very cool.
Sort of a session zero technique.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so the next things that we need to finish up is, if you haven't done so already, choosing your full name. So if you haven't chosen a last name, you can add that in. I think
we all did.
Shawn has Tracy Ergstrom. Kim, you chose Bradley.
Yes, that worked.
So
Carolyn.
Jill. And then we have Jason Connor. All right, cool. You also need to choose your motivation. I know, Kim, you did say yours when you were introducing your character, so that's cool. Everyone else, did you pick one yet?
Yeah, I just said mine is like finding the truth.
Okay.
Living up to family name.
Right, okay.
She's a native Scully,
too.
my sister.
Shawn, you picked a motivation?
I want to expose what's going on in the caves.
Ah, okay, perfect.
And are we going to share our fear with you?
So, you can, but you don't have to. So,
I think
Shawn,
Carol already did with her story.
So your
Deep
fear
water.
is water.
Which I think is funny, because I put mine as drowning.
Oh.
The desert.
Does anybody else want to reveal their fear?
I have spiders and
yes,
girls.
yeah.
I do have that written down. Yep. Shawn? Secret fear? Or just undecided?
My fear would be, as someone who wants to uncover corruption in others and is very secretive, I would think it would be having their own sins exposed. That would fit with things like not wanting people to know about Orange Crush on the book.
Are you a member of Young Republicans?
No.
All right, so the last two things is your backpack. So you can write down the stuff, like this could be literal stuff, things that you always have on you. It might
And
be,
buzzer.
yeah, it might literally be in your backpack or just like kind of always nearby. But they also say in the backpack section to include like figurative assets that you might have or advantages that you might have. So as an example, Jason Connor, you have like a fairly well-known family. Maybe you're well-connected in the town. Things like that are things that you can write down in your backpack. And we can use that to help role play as well. So you can write those.
Like Jason, in connection with what Kate just said, you'll definitely, if you ever did do anything wrong, people would be like, oh gosh, that Jason Connor and his youthful hijinks, you know.
I could probably get away with more stuff.
Oh yes.
Yeah, like the police officers or whatever might be a little more hesitant to, you know, treat you badly.
Deal with my dad.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Okay. And then
it's do you know who my dad is? Except you don't have to ask them because they know.
They do know. Yeah. Perfect. And then, what's that?
He said the unspoken question.
Right. Exactly. Cool. So the very last thing on there is each trope has some questions on it. Maybe you guys can go through those and share whatever you wish about those questions.
Not a sharing sort.
Okay, that's fine. So, Carol, are you sharing any of your trope question answers?
One question on here is, what do you think is happening in the town that no one knows about? And I think I think that the birds are actually recording everything that's going on in the town. So like there's something bigger going on, but like we're all under surveillance. And that's like the 1984 thing. And that's why I'm like lending it to Tracy, because I'm like, no, like read this and then we can talk about something. Yeah. So I'm like waiting for him to be like, okay, I finished the book. But at the same time, I know that he's avoiding telling me you spilled pop on it. So.
Meanwhile, I might be putting the world into jeopardy.
All right. There's some tension there for sure.
I kind of shared mine when I was introducing, but my questions, why do you get satisfaction from being good at sports? I like praise. I want to be the best. I like being strong. And then what does your involvement with sports keep you from doing that you wish you could do?
Yep.
I wish that I had more time to run around and explore the caves and abandoned buildings. I've been told that if I get into trouble, I could get kicked off the team.
Right.
Yeah.
Sounds good. All right. Kim, any questions that you haven't shared already that you wish to?
What do I do that always lightens your friends' moods? This is one of my a slightly more negative traits, is that I poke fun. So I'll poke fun at other people, and and for the most part it's gentle fun poking, but I'm a teenager, so it does get out of hand sometimes. And cross the line. Generally speaking, though, you guys think it's frickin' hilarious because you're also teenagers, you know?
Right. Okay. Yep. All right.
You're a jerk.
Oh, I missed something.
He, under his breath, he went brainwashed. And that was more Tracy not responding well to Jeff, so Jeff had to. And when does being in the sidekick role frustrate me? It frustrates me because my deepest, darkest secret that nobody in town, not my sister, not my parents. What do our parents do, Carol?
I said they were holding down 2 jobs, like maybe mail carriers or like working at the grocery store, like just kind of a few different jobs that aren't
Nothing
paying
crazy.
as well as they should.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Even my best friend does not know that the reason I do get on occasion frustrated with the sidekick role is because I don't want to be his sidekick. I want to be his boyfriend.
Oh, it's like a family thing that we're both crushing on the same boy.
And that's the deep dark secret I'm hiding from
you. So there is information of Jason in the drawer.
Yeah, there is a diary. There is a diary.
Oh my God,
and I am talking about.
And you would be like, "Oh, I knew it. Wait, what?"
You.
I love it.
Cool.
It is
That's
cute.
Okay.
All right.
Everybody loves Jason. He's the popular, handsome jock guy.
I just do
I
it.
can't help it. Badminton is life. It gets you all the girls and boys.
Yeah.
Kate, if it's relevant, I did switch the D's on my stats. I switched my brains and my brawn.
Yep, that's fine.
Okay.
As long as you have it written there.
I do.
Yep, sounds good. Because whenever we do skill checks, I'll just be asking you how you're approaching the situation, and based on that, I'll tell you what skill to roll, and then you'll roll that die. So I don't need to really keep track of the specific dice assignments.
Gotcha.
All right, so that is it for character creation. I feel like this might be a good place for us to stop for the day. It's been a couple hours, and the next thing that I want to do, I'm not sure that we could be done it before, like you guys have other stuff this evening as well. So I think we should stop here for now, and then what we'll pick up with next time is a little session in which you'll start exploring some happenings in the town.
I'm excited.
One of the cool mechanics of this RPG is the powered characters. So you guys are going to, one of the first things that will happen is you'll come across this special character. So I'll have to figure out a way to either work with you guys collaboratively on that before the next stream, or I'll just come up with something. But I would like to do it collaboratively, so maybe we can just chat about it a bit. But and then we'll start up an actual scenario next time.
I'm excited. I went into this knowing absolutely nothing about this game, so everything is just like, ooh, what? Like, okay, let's do it.
Yeah, this was so much fun.
And so you do have role-playing experience with like D&D, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So is that the only other like RPG that you've ever played, or have you done other things too?
Yeah, I've mostly only just played like D&D and Pathfinder. So.
Yeah. Okay.
But I've watched your streams before, so I know what kind of games
Alex, you played Dread with us as well.
Yeah,
Dread. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Dread is another one of these types of RPGs. Yeah, I love it. Okay, cool. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it. I think that this is a really unique system, and I'm really looking for. So I love that we're streaming this character creation process because it is one of the unique things about the game, and I'm really excited to get playing because I think the gameplay will also be really unique with the whole players getting narrative control and stuff like that. So. Yeah.
Root 711 says it was a cool session 0. Nice work, y'all. Thank you very much.
Hey, thank you.
Yeah, thanks for watching.
Yep. So we'll be in touch on social media to announce the next date when we're going to stream this. We have not figured it out yet, so I can't tell you right now, but hopefully soon. I mean, are you guys very busy socially in the next little while? Are you going anywhere?
No big plans.
Our major social thing right now is doing RPGs online.
That fits in perfectly. Yeah.
Fit right in.
So it's just a case of fitting it in with the other ones.
Yep, sounds good. All right, so we'll figure that out. And thank you guys again for coming and participating in the stream. We really appreciate it, and I had a ton of fun.
And it was great meeting Kim and Shawn because I haven't met you before. So.
Yes, same with me and Aleks, because Aleks is always chatting away in our stream chat, so I really it's good to meet you.
So thanks for playing. Look forward to playing with you some more. And everyone, thanks for watching and tuning in with us today, and we hope to see you next time. And you can catch more of our stuff on our YouTube channel, College of Lore Roleplaying. We've got a couple little links down there for following us on Twitter, where you'll get updates from us, and Instagram, where we post nerdy pictures once in a while. So thanks.
Everybody likes nerdy pictures.
I agree. Yeah.
We do. Yeah.
All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye.
All right. Thanks, guys. See you next time.